Hey guys, it's Joey Williamson at Keller with Brandon Ferguson at Castle Rock Mortgage. This week we're going to talk about maybe preparing your home or preparing your family for relocating out of state.
Yeah, so we get a lot of people right now moving in, whether military or not military, transitioning in. So we'll talk about some lender highlights at the end. But so if I'm a seller, let's say, preparing to move out of the area, what's some of the usual conversation you have with people?
So usually right off the bat it is, hey, we've been here for, let's say they've only been at Fort Campbell for a little while. Hey,
Okay.
we don't know if we have enough equity to sell. What kind of costs are we going to incur? We've touched on some of that in some of our
Sure.
previous things. And then how will, if we do keep this, whether it's an investment property or whatever, how will that affect our purchasing power at Fort Bragg or whatever?
Yeah, and that's a great one. I'll just throw in a little thing right here. So if you're VA and you can actually get a lease agreement to show your current house is rented, you actually don't have to count that payment against you when you're qualifying for your new one. So that could be a huge thing if you're not in a position where you could sell or you want to turn it into investment like you talked about. So if I'm a buyer coming into the area, what's kind of some highlight things, especially with the low inventory and the multiple offers? We were just talking about that earlier with other clients that you have. What's some of the things to do to prepare to come in? Wish list, like what do you really need to have tightened up to be able to move quickly?
You need to have your want and your need list nailed down.
You need to know where you're flexible at on that as well.
Yeah, and that's where we're talking, everybody wants the open concept, flat backyard, no neighbors, all that kind of stuff, but what is it you're willing to kind of chip away at a little bit to get some of the things that your family actually needs for the home?
Yeah, I mean, I'm building a house right now, and I had to completely scrap the first floor plan because it was starting to get too silly on some of the things, and we got a house that was way more functional, and it's going to be way better for us as we go through. So one would have been cool, but in all reality, we got what we needed for our family as well. So on a lender side, when you're transitioning into the area, the biggest thing that we're going to focus on is your employment. So if you're just transitioning jobs like you would be with the military, you're just moving from base to base, that's very easy, no really extras there. The biggest thing that we'll pay attention to differently from a VA client is their VAH. We're going to go off the local VAH because that's what you'll actually get when you get here. Besides that, for pretty much every other type of loan, we need to know where the down payment's coming from. So if you're selling a house and coming here and you're going to use those proceeds, then you need to close on that home right before it can even be, before you get the new house. That way you got the funds for your down payment. And the other main thing is that job as well too. Are you transitioning companies? Like, is your company moving you here, or are you actually switching companies? Are you going into a whole new role? If you're going into something new with a new company, we need an offer letter. We can actually work with that. Some people need like 6 months on the job. We only need like 30 days worth of pay stubs sometimes as well. But if we can use that offer letter, it's just got to be really good. It's got to be an actual position. It's got to have when you're going to start, and it's going to have the amount of money you're going to make. And then we can kind of work off of that as well too. You usually can close within 60 days of when you're going to start.
Cool. I know we're running kind of late, but touching on that, because we just had a client that is in that position. What if you quit your job at wherever you're coming from, and you get here? Is there a gap that you need to stay in, or do you need to get a job here before you quit there?
So, I mean, you can quit and come in when it's that kind of case and you don't get an offer letter. That's where we're going to need 30 days worth of pay stubs. Usually, as long as you're 6 months or less on any type of gap, then you're fine. Cool. It's not a big hiccup.
Good deal. All right. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Make sure you like and comment on the video.